Hello fellow tamers, welcome to Tem Talk. Previously on Tem Talk we were discussing the new patch changes that came with patch 0.7.3 and today we are going to continue with it, so let's get on with it. Improvements. The first improvement that we see on this patch is the server connection being improved, which allows the players, which fixed the problem essentially that made players not see other tamers moving around in the world. I've had this problem a few times, and once I even had a problem in a lair where I couldn't see my own character moving around, and it was just an invisible character moving around, and I could just tell where I was going based on the Temtem that was following me. So that's a good improvement that was fixed. A good fix that's been an improvement. They also added a new backpack folder for radars. Very cool, because when I was new, I had no idea where to find my radars. Like, I was going through every section. So now that they've got a new section just for radars, I think that's pretty cool. So let's check out this section for radars. Where is it? Radars. Okay, here it is. Yep. That's much better. That's much better. We've manually rearranged the backpack item order to make it more organic and intuitive. For example, fruits candies are now ordered together and according to their stats. That is so cool, because finding the fruits and the candies to put in the TVs was an immense pain. Like, I can't even explain how much time, what a time waste it was, you know? It was very difficult, so let's go through it. Let's see. It should be in medicines, I think. Oh, performance, okay. Increasing by 1, many monoliths, 20, 20, 20. Yeah, I think all the 20s are on top. Yep. So all the items that subtract the TVs are at the bottom, while all the ones that add are at the top. And the 20s are first, and then the ones are in the second. So I like this change. I like how they did it. I fully support it, because previously it was just too much of a hassle, man. It was just too hard finding the ones you needed. When trying to equip a gear, all gears that are already equipped will now be grayed out. Great. The spectate button in the interact screen will now be updated in real time. No more closing and reopening the interact screen to refresh it. That's also great. Good change. Because especially if you're trying to view someone specific, or if you're a content creator and you're commenting on PvP matches, tournaments, etc., it's a time waste to constantly close and open. So this is a good change. A new setting has been added: show tutorials with 3 possible choices. Full, where all tutorials are open automatically. That's the new default. Notifications, where you'll get the option to open and ignore a tutorial window. Hide, where the game won't show you the tutorials at all. Okay, cool. The lair party info and the lair map are now visible when you get the revive pop-up in lair, so players can now make better choices with all the available info. This is a great change, man, because there have been a few times where I've had the worst luck going into lairs, and I just had like horrible Temtem to be fighting in the lair with, and I just died. But now I don't know if I can revive or not, because I don't have any information on how much jewels we have, where in the lane the other players are, you know. So this is a good change. The tamer info screen has been modified to include the medals earned through tournaments. Great, because who doesn't want to flex, right? Everybody wants to flex their achievements in the game, and especially if you want a tournament, then hell yeah, you want to flex that, man. Like, great, I support that change completely. Free teleports are now shown at the top of the list for each island. No more scrolling for Uhuru. Great. A sign has been added to indicate when a speed tie happens and who won it. Excellent, man. That's just like so cool, because sometimes a speed tie happens and you don't even notice it because you have to constantly have your eye on that speed arrow to know if a speed tie happened and to know if you want it or the other player want it. Like, so having this sign that happens is a great visual indicator, and I think like it might make the PvP also more exciting to watch with such indications, you know. From now on, loot pools will show duplicated items with a small number of its icon instead of showing the item replaced on the UI. Great. The audio fauna will now only spawn the sounds of Temtem you could encounter on the island you are currently in. That's great because sometimes the Smazy audio would play and I'm like, Smazy doesn't even exist on this island. Why is Smazy's audio playing? So this is a good change. It makes the world more logical, you know, and more alive. So I like this change. A new message has been added to warn tamers when they use scent while already using one, so that's good. Although I don't usually use scents, I don't find them very useful. When choosing a quantity during trades or in a shop, for example, if you go over the maximum number on the selection, it'll go back to 0 and vice versa. Okay, good change. We've improved the legibility of the technique and trait details pop up on the Temtem detail screen. Okay, great. The running animation of Volgon has been improved. Now I tested this out. I tested Volgon's running animation out and I didn't see much of a change. It did look slightly better, but not a whole lot. I'll show you. Also, for those wondering, if you notice the audio being different, it's because I changed a few of the settings. I was listening to my previous Tem Talk and I noticed that the audio was just so horrible in that, man. Like, oh, I didn't even want to listen to it. It was so horrible. So I looked up a few tutorials and stuff and I changed the audio settings a bit and I ran through multiple settings, and from all the settings this one was the best. So I hope the audio is much better to listen to than the previous Tem Talk. To have even better audio, I think I would need a mic, and currently I'm just using my laptop's inbuilt mic because I don't have a mic. The headphone I'm using, the mic on that is spoiled, so that mic also doesn't work. So until I get a mic, yeah, there's no better audio than this. In the current scenario, this is the best possible audio I can produce. So I'll show you the Volgon running animation. Like, it's slightly better, but not a whole lot. Like, Volgon still looks like he's very static. For something like this, you know, this whole body and the tail needs to be moving when Volgon moves. And currently he looks like one of those plastic toys whose arms and legs don't move at all. They're just stationary and static and absolutely with zero mobility whatsoever. So this is looking like one of those plastic toys. I hope they improve it even further in the future. Okay, let's see. What else? Okay, balance changes. Dojo rematches teams have been revisited to correct missing or wrong techniques, missing gear, and some terms that were missing SVs. We've also given the dojo leaders some of the new gears. Okay, cool. Enemy Saku's level has been adjusted in the Sacred Lake layer. I never noticed that Saku's level was off. Honestly, I never noticed that. PvP, this change, I know this change, and this change I feel it's not very new player friendly, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, the pick and ban reserve time has been reduced from 60 seconds to 40 seconds. Okay, that's not too bad. Pick and ban is faster, great. Turn time has been reduced from 45 to 40. Reserve time has been reduced from 180 to 120. Now, this is a problem for new players because Temtem is drastically different from other monster taming games, and with dual natures like fire and leaf being present in the game on one single Temtem, and there being synergies and so many different moves, it can be hard for new players to remember exactly like what the synergies are, what they do, which Temtems have which moves, which Temtem resist what kind of techniques and are weak to which type of techniques. So as a new player, I have a wiki open right beside me all the time on my tablet or something. And whenever I see a Temtem I'm not very familiar with, I'll just like check the Temtem up on wiki and see what moves it has, what hold priority that move has, what the Temtem is weak to and what it resists. So I used to check that on my tablet, which I used to have right by my side. But now, with the reserve time being reduced, it might not be possible to keep doing that constantly throughout the match. You might be able to do it once or twice, but not constantly. And so this is not, in that way, this is not very new player friendly. But another thing this change does do is it makes the battles much faster, and much higher level players might enjoy that, and people spectating the game will also enjoy that, the battles being just like much faster. If you check on my PvP videos on YouTube, then my Temtem PvP videos are going nearly 30 minutes per match. And even when I look at tournaments of more experienced players playing the matches go up to 20 to 30 minutes. So this will definitely speed things up much more. Temtem, okay, the Temtem changes, let's go through it. Chromion, HP increased from 51 to 61. Crystal Deluge has been added to the technique pool of the crystal type Chromion. Okay, great. Molgu stat changes mentioned in patch 0.7.2 are now properly applied. Previously, these stat changes were not applied due to some technical issues, but now they have been applied. So let's check out what these stat changes are. Molgu HP increased from 69 to 79. Attack increased from 74 to 84. So that's a pretty high attack range, you know. Pretty high attack range. I wouldn't be surprised if Molgu is like one of the highest attack stat Temtem currently. Let's check that out. 85, right? Okay, let's see Molgu. Okay, the wiki has it wrong, so we'll just check it through the patch. Molgu attack increased from 74 to 84, and the highest attacking Temtem currently is Osukai with 95. So 84 would put him on the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, top 10. Yeah, Molgu is in top 10 with a base attack of how much is it? Of 84. With a base attack of 84, Molgu is top 10, tied with Zalbian. So that's a pretty solid attack stat to have, man. HP 79. Let's see where he lies in terms of HP. 79. Yeah, pretty high up there, man. Pretty high up there. Definitely not bad at all. So definitely not bad at all. I'm pretty sure we'll see more Molgus appearing in PvP matches and in tournaments. Roller stamina increased from 37 to 44, good change. Inki attack increased from 62 to 65. Special attack increased from 62 to 65 as well. This is a good buff, but what I really feel Inki really needed buffs to his defense, because I'll show you Inki. Inki is a very fragile Temtem, man. So if you see, Inki doesn't really have that great defense. It's just like average at best. It doesn't really have that great of a defense. And even in offense, like 65, that's fine because of his trait. So the trait increasing the damage by 50% makes it somewhat viable. But in terms of defense, yeah, Inki needed a defensive boost rather than an offensive boost, in my opinion. Oshiara, special attack reduced from 110 to 103, so all you people farming Earth Shrines and killing all those Osukais to level up your Temtem, I don't know how viable that would be now with the debuff, with the nerf to special attack for Oshiara. We'll have to check that out. Technique, Fiery Souls damage reduced 90 to 75. Yes! Yes, this was absolutely needed because Fiery Souls was an immense value move, man. Like, I'd say this was worse than Quetzalcoatl on Fire Koish because, firstly, Tolkien comes into the battlefield with the heater trait. Both your Temtems now automatically do 30% less damage. Not great. On the other hand, Fiery Souls being a 3 priority move with 0 hold, doing 90 damage, and Tolkien just naturally, very high special attack stats. I'll show you. So Tolkien's 79 base special attack was nothing to laugh at, man. That special attack combined with a 90 damage 0 hold move that put the burn status on your Temtem was absolutely insane, and it was 3 priority. And most people ran their Tolkiens pretty speedy. So chances are, not only does your Temtem do 30% less damage when Tolkien comes into the battlefield, but Tolkien is most probably going before your Temtem and applying the burn status on your Temtem to make it do 30% less damage, and now your Temtem is going second and doing 30% less damage. So it was an immense value move, man. So 90 with 90 base damage for Fiery Souls and Tolkien's 79 base special attack, it did an absolute chunk of damage, man. Like the Temtems that were weak to fire moves, for example Saku and Kinu, all these Temtems, Nidrasil, they had a really tough time. And I ran those Temtems, so I know how tough it was to run those Temtems. I trained Saku and I barely used it because of Tolkien. Plague damage reduced from 100 to 90, stamina cost increased from 23 to 24. Ooh, this hurts Wolfie. Rest in peace to my Wolfie. Oh, this hurts. This hurts me a lot. My Wolfie. Oh no. Oh no. I can already feel my heart sinking. Oh no. Oh dear God. Oh, this just hurts so much. Oh no. But I guess it was a very deserved nerf, since on the Wolfie I didn't think Plague did that much of a damage, because Wolfie is at 76, not even 79 special attack, and but I think what most probably caused this nerf was Amphitheater. Oh no, Amphitheater. Okay, I guess it was a very well deserved nerf in terms of balancing. Let's see, but I think even with 90 damage and 24 stamina cost, Plague is still a very viable move. The worst way to nerf a move is to make it completely unviable to the point where no one's using it. And with this change, I think people will still use it. I, for one, would still use it on my Wolfie. I don't know how strong Wolfie would still be with this nerf, but I'd still use it. Dim Mark damage increase from 80 to 100. That's a pretty big buff, man. Damn. Guardian traits. Guardian now prevents the ally from getting frozen due to a second cold status being applied to them. Great. Near toxins will now inflict doom even upon toxic Temtem. I think that was very good, because it is supposed to apply doom on toxic Temtem. Seppuku. We fixed that this trait was proccing after using sacrifice or auto-destruction, even if there was no overexertion. Okay. Tireless. If the Temtem with this trait misses a technique due to evading status or because there aren't any enemies on the battlefield alive and it overexerts, Tireless will still be activated. Yep, I think that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. Gears added 5 new gears: Fake Beard, Mom's Lunch, Morale's Whip, Redirection Device, Gravel's Bag. So I previously did a video on doing all the new Crema quest as well as the musical quest. The Krema quest in the Krema building in Spamku is where you get all of these 5 gears as the reward for completing those quests. And in that video I do show what the gears do and how to obtain them. The video is slightly long because it's sort of like a playthrough, so if you go to my playlist Yong's epic Temtem journey, then yeah, you can see it over there. And Hopeless Tonic. It now only removes negative status conditions when applied. Very good. Doom turns increase from 3 to 4. That's also good. I think this makes Hopeless Tonic much more viable. Although it's still a very risky, extremely risky gear to run on any Temtem, in my opinion. Seriously, there are very few Temtems that can take advantage of Hopeless Tonic currently. Hacked microchip will no longer work with multiple target techniques. Okay, I don't know why it would not work with multiple target techniques, but I guess there's a reason. In my opinion, it's supposed to reduce all kinds of digital damage, multiple and single target. But to be fair, most multi-target techniques do less damage naturally, so I guess that's one reason. Others, from now on, competitive squads won't allow having both a pre-evolution and the evolved form of the same Temtem at the same time. This is tied to the new locking system in tournaments. Sorry, Tylo. I don't know. I don't have any opinion regarding this change because, like, most people don't run the pre-evolution as well as the evolution on the same team. Most people just don't do that. I, for one, don't do that, and there are very few people doing it. So only the people who do it would know the impact of this change. Since I have no experience regarding that, I don't know the impact of that change. When exiting the game, you now hear the fainting sound of a random Temtem, because how dare you? Well, good quality of life change there. Just a fun change. The scouted status has been removed from the filter in the Tempedia as it wasn't being used, nor has any plans to be. Okay. Fixes. There are a lot of fixes, so I probably won't go through all of them, and I personally haven't read all of them, but one fix that I did read and I do really like is this one, the very first fix. Fix the black screen that would happen after finishing a ranked match and returning to a fishing encounter. Now that, my friends, is a very good fix, because the black screen issue, it was kind of annoying. I don't know if this only fixes the black screen issue for the fishing encounters, like after returning to the fishing encounter from a ranked match, but let's see. I'm hoping that it also works for wild Temtems, because I used to search for PvP matches while doing a radar all the time, and I'd get stuck in a black screen after the ranked match quite often, you know. So I hope this fixes the encounters for wild Temtems and NPC matches as well. I hope so, but we'll see. I'll have to test that out since I haven't done any PvP since this patch came out. And I'll just scroll through all the other fixes that happened. I haven't read all of them. I just remember this one, since this one was pretty good. I liked that fix a lot. Another fix that's worth mentioning is fixed Mimit being transformed in the battle box phase of a ranked match if a tamer started the match while their Mimit was transformed in a PvP battle. That's a good fix. Another fix they did do of Mimit was Mimit. When you used Mimit to breed Koish and the bug just kept giving you the wrong Koish, that has been fixed in this patch as well. I don't know where exactly they've mentioned it, but I do remember reading that. And the other fixes I don't particularly remember, but this one's in bold, so let's read this. Fix that the remove trait bonus for the lair would remove the main trait of the mythical on the altar UI when this ability can never be removed with the use of this bonus. Okay, then that's cool. and no other fixes that I remember. If any of you want to look at the fix, then you can go to Crema's official website and look at the fixes there. So that's it for this episode of Tem Talk. I hope you all found this video very useful and informative. I'll see you in the next Tem Talk. Bye bye, guys. Have a good day.